Get ready for massive market moves. We start with SpaceX targeting a staggering initial public offering valuation of up to $1.75 trillion. This isn't just a big number. This potential listing would shatter records for the largest stock market debut ever recorded. We dive into what drives this valuation and why investors are already scrambling for exposure in the public space economy. This mission, Starship Flight 12, will debut heavily upgraded versions of both the Starship upper stage and the Super Heavy booster, putting immense pressure on SpaceX to prove its hardware for NASA's Artemis program. And finally, the connectivity revolution is here. We break down how AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon have formed a joint venture, all in direct response to SpaceX's Starlink initiative. This alliance signals a massive shift in satellite internet, and we look at Elon Musk's latest moves, including the Starlink connection on Air Force One, to see how this is rewriting the rules of global communication. Stay locked in. SpaceX is reportedly targeting an initial public offering valuation between $1.75 trillion and $2 trillion, a figure that would mark the largest stock market debut in history. This potential listing has already spurred a surge in public space economy proxies, with companies like Rocket Lab, Intuitive Machines, and Firefly Aerospace rallying sharply since the IPO timeline emerged in March. Valuations for SpaceX have seen significant growth, climbing from approximately $350 billion in late 2024 to $1.5 trillion in May, with a valuation near $1.25 trillion following the XAI merger in early 2026. The proposed $1.75 trillion IPO valuation implies a price-to-sales ratio exceeding 100 times based on an estimated revenue of $15 billion, with the upper band contingent on sustained Starlink subscriber growth. The anticipated capital raise for the offering is projected to be between $40 billion and $80 billion, potentially surpassing Saudi Aramco's 2019 debut raise. This aggressive valuation is underpinned by three key operational drivers: scaling Starlink users, achieving routine launches with Starship, and converting orbital artificial intelligence into recurring revenue. While SpaceX remains private, investors are currently tracking the theme through listed proxies and thematic funds. Rocket Lab, RKLB, has seen a 57% gain since March 25. Intuitive Machines is up 46%, and Firefly Aerospace is up 36%. Morgan Stanley has formalized this theme with its Space 60 list, where approximately 24 names have doubled year-to-date, indicating speculative interest extends beyond pure-play launch providers. Adjacent beneficiaries include cloud and software platforms supporting satellite communications, such as Alphabet, through its Google Cloud presence and prior Starlink exposure. As the expected IPO window approaches in July 2026, analysts caution that richly priced listings often face valuation erosion once early lockups expire. The report advises traders to focus on listed proxies and baskets like the ARK Space Exploration ETF, ARKX, rather than speculative IPO froth, emphasizing that position sizing must account for the elevated multiple risk within the space sector. SpaceX is reportedly eyeing an initial public offering with a potential valuation reaching $2 trillion, according to a recent report from Arcam. This speculation is bolstered by the fact that the company reportedly holds $637 million in Bitcoin, signaling a significant cryptocurrency component to its financial portfolio. Market sentiment surrounding the potential IPO is strong. In the SpaceX IPO predictions market, the probability of an IPO announcement by June 30, 2026, stands at 90.5%, an increase from the previous 24 hours. Furthermore, the market shows a 97.4% probability that SpaceX's market capitalization will exceed $1 trillion at closing. Analysts suggest that the $2 trillion valuation report increases the likelihood of an IPO announcement by the deadline, aligning with expectations for a major market entry. The substantial Bitcoin holdings are viewed as an indicator of financial robustness, supporting a high market valuation. Observers are advised to closely monitor official announcements from Elon Musk and SpaceX regarding IPO plans and any forthcoming SEC filings, with key public disclosures anticipated by the end of May 2026. Changes in financial strategies or Bitcoin holdings could further influence market perceptions. SpaceX is set to conduct a critical flight test of its Starship launch system, designated Starship Flight 12, scheduled for Tuesday evening from the Starbase facility in South Texas. The launch window opens at 6:30 p.m. EDT on Tuesday, May 19, marking a significant step as the mission will debut heavily upgraded versions of both the Starship upper stage and the Super Heavy booster. This test is crucial as SpaceX faces mounting pressure to validate its hardware for integration into NASA's Artemis program. The launch will feature redesigned components. The Super Heavy booster will utilize the latest evolution of the Raptor engine, with all 33 engines expected to ignite during ascent. A key operational change for this flight is the plan for the Super Heavy booster to execute a controlled offshore landing in the Gulf of America, diverging from previous tests that involved returning the booster to the launch tower using mechanical arms. Upon reaching orbit, the Starship upper stage is slated to deploy 22 Starlink simulators designed to mimic next-generation Starlink satellites. These simulators will conduct imaging operations focused on the spacecraft's heat shield, transmitting data back to mission control. For enhanced testing, several heat shield tiles have been intentionally painted white to serve as visual targets, and one tile has been removed entirely to study the aerodynamic reactions of adjacent tiles during re-entry. Starship remains foundational to SpaceX's deep space ambitions, designed to carry over 100 tons of cargo and eventually transport crews to the Moon and Mars. Current focus is intensifying on testing the Starship Human Landing System, HLS, a modified version being developed for NASA's Artemis program. Following a revision to the Artemis program on March 3, Artemis 3, scheduled for mid-2027, has been reclassified as a test mission involving the rendezvous and docking of the Orion spacecraft with commercial lunar landers, specifically SpaceX's Starship HLS and Blue Origin's Blue Moon. This development has intensified the competition between SpaceX and Blue Origin for NASA's Artemis 3 crew. NASA confirmed on May 4 that testing of Blue Origin's Blue Moon Mark 1 lunar lander has concluded within a thermal vacuum chamber at the Johnson Space Center in Houston. In a significant move signaling a strategic pivot in the connectivity landscape, Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile have announced a joint venture to pool spectrum resources for expanding satellite-based direct-to-device, D2D, connectivity across the United States. This collaboration is a direct response to the rapid expansion of SpaceX's Starlink initiative. The alliance aims to deploy D2D technology, which allows smartphones to connect directly to satellites in orbit, offering a cellular-like experience without requiring additional hardware. Industry observers view this move as a defensive maneuver by the major wireless carriers intended to slow Starlink's aggressive growth in both satellite internet and mobile markets. SpaceX has been highly responsive to the coordination, with President and COO Gwynne Shotwell suggesting the move is a David and Goliath scenario. Meanwhile, SpaceX VP of Satellite Policy David Goldman raised antitrust concerns regarding 3 dominant competitors coordinating while a new rival enters the market. Financial analysts noted that the announcement, being an agreement in principle without a definitive deal or timeline, signaled nervousness among the carriers. This timing was seen as strategically crucial ahead of SpaceX's roadshow and the anticipated launch of next-generation Starlink V2 satellites, which promise up to 100 times the data density of current systems. Amidst these developments, Elon Musk has reinforced SpaceX's focus on its core mission, confirming plans to structurally shield his leadership and tie a potential trillion-dollar compensation package to the company's long-term goal of establishing a self-sustaining colony on Mars. Musk emphasized that the focus must remain on multiplanetary expansion, insulating the company from short-term financial pressures. Beyond terrestrial and mobile networks, Starlink's impact on aviation is transforming travel. Elon Musk confirmed that Starlink Internet is now live and operational on Air Force One, providing mission-critical, high-speed satellite connectivity for national security and global coordination. This capability is rapidly being adopted by commercial carriers, including Hawaiian Airlines, United Airlines, Qatar Airways, and Emirates, as well as private jet operators. Starlink's low Earth orbit constellation delivers high speeds with low latency, enabling seamless video conferencing and real-time data transfer across vast distances, positioning the service as the backbone for connected flight.